Joanna and today I'll be demonstrating the appendicular skeleton. The appendicular skeleton is divided into the axial and the appendicular portions. The axial has 80 bones, 3 major regions: the skull, the head, the vertebrae column, the neck, and the thoracic cage, which is the trunk of the body. This part of the skeleton axle forms the longitudinal axis of the body, supports the head, the neck, and the trunk, protects the brain, spinal cord, and organs in the thoracic cavity. Then you have the appendicular portions, which is locomotion, helps us move, consists of bones in upper and lower limbs, the girdle, and the girdles is the shoulder and hip bones that attach limbs to the axial. The pectoral girdle, which is the back flat bone, the shoulder girdle, has 2 bones: the clavicle and the scapula. These 2 bones form the shoulders. Clavicle joins the sternum at the medial end. Clavicle meets the scapula laterally and distal end. Scapula are attached to the thoracic and vertebral column only by muscles. The pectoral girdles attach the upper limbs to the axis skeleton and provide attachment points for many of the muscles that move the upper limbs. The pectoral girdle attach the upper limbs to the axial skeleton and provides points for many of the muscles that move the upper limbs. The clavicle collarbones is next, and each clavicle is cone-shaped at its medial sternal end, which attaches to the sternal manubrium and flattened at its lateral acromial end, which articulates the scapula, the pointed end of the clavicle. The scapula, the shoulder blades, is the glenoid cavity at the border of the armpit, the axillary socket of the head of the arm bone. The spine is easily felt through your skin and ends laterally in an enlarged, roughened triangular projection called the acromion. This enlarged end of the spine, the scapula, connects to the clavicle and acroclavicular joint. From the superior scapular border of the coracoid process, the coracoid process helps anchor the biceps muscles and the upper arm limbs, and is bounded by the suprascapular notch, which is the nerve passage that is medial, and by the glenoid cavity laterally. The infraspinatus and the supraspinatus fossa are large fossas that appear in both sides of the scapula and are named according to their location. The sternoclavicular articulates with the sternum and the clavicle. And this concludes my presentation on the appendicular skeleton.